in the NBA Finals now. So today is Wednesday. Thursday is game one, right? So we got the Pacers and the Thunder. First of all, do you think that these two teams are deserving to be in the finals? How do you think this finals is going to play out? And what do you think the final say is going to be?
Man, OKC has this, bro. I told you already that the NBA Finals for me was between the Nuggets and the Thunder. So like for me,
Yeah.
it's all formality at this point. You know what I'm trying to say? OKC's had the best record all season. Obviously, they have the MVP. You know what I'm trying to say? Like they've played the right way all season into the playoffs. You know what I'm trying to say? Just
Mm-hmm.
barely survived Denver. You know what I'm trying to say? So like I think this is where they should be. I think this is where we've kind of said they should be based on what they've been doing in the regular season and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, like it's not really a surprise, I guess, in a way. I guess the
Mm-hmm.
surprising team now is Indiana now being in that spot because I guess we were thinking maybe Boston would come back at least to the finals. I was saying that OKC is probably not going to win this year because Boston's probably going to come back and repeat. But now that obstacle's out of the way. So yo,
Mm-hmm.
Indiana's nice, bro. Indiana's nice. I get it. They're a small market team. They're not like sexy and flashy and like people don't like them and
Yeah.
and stuff like that. They're not fans of like maybe Siakam and Halliburton and stuff like that. But they're a nice team, bro. Since January 1st, OKC and the Pacers have the best record up to this point. So they are the
To
two best
January
teams
1st.
since
Okay.
January 1st, including the playoffs, right? So I mean, if you want to say Indiana, they kind of deserve to be here. They've proven it through their play through the regular season and the playoffs. You know what I'm trying to say? So like, this is pretty much the two best teams in 2025 going at it essentially. But I think OKC's got it in. Bro, I want to say a sweep, dog. I want to say a sweep.
Yeah.
I
Mm-hmm.
want to say a sweep. But like, I could see the Pacers winning game one or game two. Just coming out hot and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. That defense from OKC, I don't know, man. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's facts. I mean, OKC, best record, right? Well, not best record in the league, but best record in the West. They've been efficient. They've been dominant all year round. So it's kind of, the surprise is that, the number one team in the conference actually makes it, right? Because, sometimes
True.
we've seen second or third and, based off the record, based off they played in the season, it's good to kind of see it consistent with the playoffs, which is kind of a not so common thing, right?
Right.
And as you said, the surprise team is clearly the Indiana Pacers because we had Boston over them. I mean, for every round, to be honest, like, and this is already on record. I thought they were going to lose every single round. Every time they moved on, I thought they were going to lose.
This guy's a hater,
Right?
yo.
So I guess I'm definitely like it's easy to say I am surprised because I said
Yeah,
every single
yeah.
time against the Bucks that they were going to lose. I thought they're going to lose against Boston, and then that happened, and then I thought they were
Cleveland,
going to lose
Cleveland,
against,
Cleveland.
sorry, against Cleveland, and then they've always been able to sneak out game one or game two, or believe both games in the bigger series, right? No, all three of
Yeah,
them, if anything.
yeah, yeah. They won the
'Cause
pretty big games that you're supposed to win for sure.
yeah, yeah. So they started each series on the road and got at least one, sometimes two. I think twice they went up 2-0, right? So um, I guess this
Good
is just
point.
playoff basketball because you have a great coach, right? An experienced coach. He won with Dallas, right? So
Dallas, yep.
they know how to kind of sneak through because Dallas was not really the team that everyone thought would win too against the Lakers and Kobe against Miami Heat. You know what I mean? So
Kevin
they went up
Durant.
against
Yeah,
KD and OKC back when they were in their prime,
yeah.
right? And like I said, playoff basketball, you reduce your roster down to like 7, 8 players, and they've been, the best offensive team for a couple years now. They know how to put up points, and their always downfall was always on the defensive side. I remember when they lost to the Lakers in the in-season tournament last year. It was just because they
Right.
didn't know how to manage Anthony Davis, right? So, when your best players are the teams that you're playing are their best player is guards because that's what it's essentially been for all of their teams. Giannis was the only player on that team really that they had to manage, right? But
True.
they dealt with him. But Cleveland, their best player are guards, and
Guards.
Garland wasn't even there. And same thing with kind of the Knicks, right? Brunson, they managed him. You know what I mean? He was
Right.
getting in
And
foul
see,
trouble,
like
crazy.
sorry to jump in, but this is what
Yeah,
we've always said, and I feel like some people on YouTube think we're haters, yo. It is hard to win with like small guards, man. Like
yeah,
it's not a hating. It's not a hating. We're not saying these guys are not good basketball players. We're
Yeah.
just saying in the playoffs, man. It's not the
Yeah.
formula. You know what I'm trying to say? And like you said, Halliburton, who was voted most overrated, was the biggest point guard in every series. You
Yeah.
know what I'm trying to say?
Yep.
You know
Yep.
what I'm trying to say? And you know,
Yep.
and he's the engine to his team. So come on, guys. It's not hating, man. It's just unfortunately, this is just how basketball games are won when it really, really matters. You know what I'm
Yeah.
trying to say?
Yeah. No, exactly. So, I mean, yeah, like they once you figure out the defensive side, and as long as the offense is still clicking, then you have a very dangerous team, right? So it's I guess it's kind of convenient when they have when they're going up against Brunson and Mitchell and Garland didn't really play, but and then Tatum sorry, no, they didn't even play against Boston, sorry, but then Dame was down too, so that made that series a little bit easy, and they really just know how to close out games, like. They clearly know how to close out games. They've had clutch wins in all three of their series so far. So to kind of say on the outcome, yeah, they'll probably sneak out one game. I don't know if it'll be game one or two or three, because OKC is pretty professional. Like, you know what I mean? I can't. You couldn't see the other teams. Well, you could kind of see the Knicks kind of crumbling at the end of the game, and I watched that game two when they crumbled, up 14 with 2 minutes left, and I'm like, they're gonna come back. They're gonna
Disrespectful.
come back. Like too little time was going off the clock. That was the longest 2 minutes of basketball I've seen in a long
A
time.
lie. It was long stuff. It was
It was long, so I was like, nah, they're gonna come back and like, lucky the man had his foot on the toe at the time, but they still ended up winning the game. And like they're gonna maybe sneak out one game, and I don't know if they'll get one of the road games in game one or two because OKC is just that professional. They may
right.
just try to fight in game three or four, but as soon as OKC is up 3 games, like I think they're gonna get professional about it. I can see it being 3-1 at some point. I just don't know what game Indiana will get in terms of whether maybe game two or three. But I got OKC in five, I would say.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, like for me, it was like if they were gonna get a game, the Pacers, I was saying game one. I don't know. I
Yeah,
just see I don't know. Every time a team loses, not every time, obviously, but like a lot of times when teams get that one win, it's usually like in the first couple of games, the first
yeah,
game, second game. You know what I'm trying to say?
yeah,
So I'm anticipating that the Pacers have played decent on the road this postseason, so they have that in their favor and stuff like that.
yeah,
It's just that OKC, bro, they have Caruso, Casey Wallace, sorry, Dortman, whatever. They got three
yeah,
man that can just throw at him, and like they never had that in other series. You know what I'm
yeah.
trying to say? So that's going to be interesting to watch. That
Hmm.
adjustment from playing the way that they play to get there, because bro, they're not going to win. If the Pacers are going to win, they're not going to win playing how they play because OKC can slow them down and then
Yeah,
force them to play half court offense, and they're not that great at playing half court offense. You know what I'm trying to say?
yeah,
So it's going to be interesting to watch. Like I said, I wouldn't be surprised at a sweep. It's just that the Pacers, like like they've played so well up to this point. You have to give them a game at least.
yeah, 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 yeah.
You have to.
Exactly,
You have to. Even Iverson
exactly.
got a game against the Lakers. So like,
Yeah, yeah. That's the kind of
yeah,
vibes I get, and like OKC's first time, well, this whole core team to the finals. They may get a
that's
little
fair.
jittery. You know what I mean? But
Mhm.
like they're definitely gonna do it in clean fashion because I saw the maturity when they had that game seven against Denver. Like that was it for
Mm,
me where I said, this is where they could like if they like they I thought they had a really good chance at losing that game, right?
mm,
But they handled it so professionally that, I was like, okay, that sealed it for me in terms of everything for them. Right.
facts,
So
facts.
we'll see, right? Game one tomorrow, so that's gonna be interesting.